If you're going to ever deliver on any project, whether as a business, a startup, or even as an individual, you must learn how to roll the dice. I call it the dice framework. It is said that 2 out of 3 projects fail, and I've discovered that they fail because they don't apply the dice framework. They most times apply just the softer elements of that project, which are very good in terms of what is going to be the motivation, the culture, the leadership style. Very excellent, very good. But there are other elements for every project, and you need to understand that. And it has to do with the DICE framework. So in consulting with businesses, I let them understand we need to understand what is going to be the DICE framework for this project. First, what is the duration for this project? If we have a clear duration for this project, let's say it's a 5-year plan, my next question is, how are we going to cascade it down to a 1-year plan? But that is not even the most important part. How are we going to cascade it down to 3 months plan and attach it as a key performance indicator to drive performance for that project? Because it must be constantly reviewed to see that we are in line to deliver that project in terms of the duration of that project. Because I've also discovered that long projects that are reviewed often will deliver more than short projects that are not reviewed at all. So we must have clarity on the duration and how we are going to be reviewing those projects using the KPI framework to achieve this. The next one is the integrity to that project. And this does not only speak to the ethics, which is very important, but when we're talking about the integrity of a project, we are speaking to what are the skill sets needed to deliver that project. What is the capacity needed? What are the credibility that will be needed to deliver that project? Now, I can't embark on any project if I've not done a competency gap analysis, trying to understand the skill sets, the competency framework of the team that is going to be working on that project, because we can't start on any project without understanding this. If not, it's going to be a futile one. We need to understand what are the skill sets. Do we have the right skills? Do we have the right people to deliver on this project? This is very important for you to understand as a business, as a startup. And that is why most times before I start working on any project with businesses or my clients, I do that competency analysis to understand if we have the right people for this project. It is very critical for you to understand this. The next one is the commitment to that project. And in terms of commitment, there are 2 levels. There is the senior level and the low level. Now, in the senior level commitment, this is where you have your stakeholders. Now, and most times we get to do this in our board retreat, in our board strategy, in our plan to have that senior level commitment. But the mistake is always ignoring the low level commitment. And if I'm consulting, I tell people, yes, we've done the senior level commitment, but we need to go down to the low level and begin to commit and communicate these commitments to these people, because they are also going to run with this project and they need to have clarity in terms of the commitment expected from them. And then from the commitment, we start communicating the efforts. This is the effort we need to deliver on this project. These are the efforts we're going to need from people to deliver on this project, and it is very important that it is communicated clearly. So as you're showing up, you know what is expected from you. This is the DICE framework, and it's very important. It is very important because it will help you to analyze your project to know if your project is in the win zone, is in the worry zone, or is in the war zone. The win zone means that it has the high chances of succeeding. The worry zone means that it has that uncertain outcome and you might need to revisit it. The war zone, that's WOE, means that it has a high risk of failure. But with the DICE framework, advising businesses, we tend to try to put every project on the win zone because we've tried to use this framework, DICE, to know how we are going to deliver on the project. And this is what you need to know as a business, as a startup, even as an individual. Setting your personal goals, setting your personal projects. You need to understand this and you begin to run with it. This is what I advise my clients, and I'm here to let you know if you're going to deliver very big projects, these are some of the things you need to understand, and I'm rooting for you.